pregnancy glow. My camera right there, it doesn't autofocus, so I have to use my hanger to make sure it's focused. Hopefully that's good enough. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be talking about my first trimester of pregnancy and how it went, how I got through it. Also how it was kind of different from my first pregnancy, because as some of you guys know, I already have a daughter, so this is my second pregnancy. So I wanted to just share my experience so far and little things that have helped me, and even maybe a few things that helped me throughout my first pregnancy as well, because definitely they were both different. So if you want to know how my first trimester went and you're interested in some tips and some tricks, then keep watching. So I wrote down some notes for myself so that I could stay on track and hopefully hit all the points and stuff and questions that I think I would be asked, you know, if I put it out there perhaps. So first of all, how did I find out I was pregnant? So my husband and I we were trying already, so it was planned for this baby. Ever since Ellie was like, you know, maybe like 6 months old, which is my first daughter, that's her name. She's actually right here next to me. So if you hear any little stuff, that's because she's like right here playing and watching videos. But I had always said that I would want to start trying again when she turned like 1.5 years for sure. I at least wanted her to be 1.5 years, but more specifically I wanted her to be like 1 year and 8 months or 9 months, so that when the next baby was born they would be like 2.5 years apart, because by then, you know, she could already be potty trained hopefully, and hopefully almost be out of diapers. And, you know, she'll just be a little bit more older and more mature and understand what's going on more. So that was always my plan. I was always saying, you know, I want to get pregnant at the end of the year, either November or December. I had the IUD put in when, you know, after she was born for protection, because I didn't want to get pregnant right away. And I ended up taking it out in the like middle of October. And, you know, the doctor said give it about 4 to 6 weeks that I could probably get pregnant. So I was like, okay, you know, I've always been irregular, so I've always had like a longer period cycle. So I think instead of like 28 days, which I think is what's normal, I have like a 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 34, like, yeah, like a 35, 34 day cycle, so like a week more. So I actually started to really research how to get pregnant faster. Like, you know, I wanted to get pregnant. I wanted to make sure when I was ovulating and everything. And come to find that when you're like ovulating normally, when you have a normal cycle, usually ovulate on the 14th day after your first period, after the beginning of your period or whatever. And when you're on a 34, 35 day cycle, it's actually until the 21st day. So it's actually 2 weeks after your period, not 1 week. So I found that out and I was like, okay, so, you know, I gotta get to business, can't miss those days. And, you know, because I was using Ovi, I believe, and yeah, it was telling me that I was fertile, you know, a week before I was actually, because it wasn't on the right cycle. So you need to make sure you put the correct cycle and the correct days and everything, because then it can give you more accurate results. But it always works best, I think, if you just count and you know. The first month that we tried was December. I was ovulating in December, but little did I was like not thinking straight. They don't, you know, you don't count pregnancy until the first day of your last missed period. So I actually got pregnant in November, like mid-November, end of November, which is when it was the first day of my last missed period. And yeah, but I already knew that we were trying, so I was obviously just looking out for the signs. And, you know, I remember like 2 weeks after around 2 weeks after I had ovulated, I started feeling cramping on my right side, and I just started feeling like, you know, like that kind of like feeling, kind of like when you want to get your period, but I know it wasn't that time yet. And, you know, I was thinking like, you know, like, that's interesting. And I kind of like left it at that. So, you know, it was that time my period was coming up, and I had bought the pregnancy test, but I was just kind of waiting a little longer because I didn't want to take it too early and, you know, get maybe like a false negative and whatnot. So I waited only like 2 or 3 days after what I assumed. After when I assumed my period would be starting, because like I said, I'm irregular. So, which is even longer than the normal. It was another, I had to wait another extra week. And yeah, I did it, and it was, you know, I was like, the line was super pink, super evident. And if you guys missed my first my video of when I revealed my pregnancy and how I told my husband, you can kind of see it happening right there. But yeah, that's how I found out, you know, it was planned, and God is so good. I got pregnant on the first try. I know that not a lot of women did it on the first try, and I know it's really hard, and it can be really frustrating, and it can be really sad and unmotivating. But you know, everything happens in God's timing, and God knows exactly at what time and in what moment He is gonna give us those desires of our heart, and He knows what's best for us and when it's best for us. So, you know, be patient, hold on, it will come in its time. So, weight gain. I actually haven't weighed myself in like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks, but when I got pregnant, I weighed like 134 and a half, 135, and I've been weighing the same amount. I haven't really gained weight. I'm actually currently 17 weeks, and so, you know, my first trimester ended at 14 weeks, so it's already been 3 weeks that I started the second trimester. But my whole first trimester, I haven't gained weight. I stayed at exactly like 134 and a half. Actually went down like a pound, and then I went up again to my starting weight. So yeah, but I mean, I'm not really worried about it. My doctor says it's fine, and that's very similar to how I was in my first pregnancy as well. So I kind of know now that that's normal, so I'm not worried about it. You know, I'm just eating the same and whatnot, and I'm eating well, so that's really what matters. I did notice that in the beginning of my pregnancy, like even a little before I found out, I think, that I was pregnant, I did start noticing that my sense of smell was a lot more sensitive. Not so much to like good smelling things like perfume and all that. I know that there's women who are very sensitive to that, but I was actually more sensitive to like food smells, like in particular garlic. I love garlic, but not until recently now am I starting to get over it. But the whole first trimester, for sure, it was like very hard on me that the smell of garlic, it did not sit well with me. It was like, eh. My mom cooks a lot with garlic and stuff, and like when she was cooking, sometimes I'm just like, I can't even be here. Like, let me just close the door, let me lock myself away. Like, I could not stand the smell of garlic, and it really sucks because I love, you know, I love like eating rice and putting a garlic clove in it. And you know, whenever I cook, I love using garlic, and it was just like a no-go. I just like things like, obviously, like the smell of gas and strong spices in foods. I honestly was really just into bland things that didn't smell a lot, that were more fresh, because yeah, just like anything with too much spices and stuff like that, it was like, ugh. Cravings, I'm not really the type that gets cravings, to be honest. I know a lot of people get cravings, but if anything, I feel like I'm more like the opposite. I get food aversions. There's just, if anything, there's a lot of things that don't sound good instead of that do. I know people get weird cravings and all that. I wouldn't say that my cravings were anything out of the normal. I've always loved hot Cheetos, so I mean, those sound good all the time. And you know, they've never not sounded good. So I wouldn't consider that like a craving. If anything, I really like became really picky, I guess, with what I was wanting to eat. So yeah, like I said, I wanted really bland things. Surprisingly, like in my first pregnancy as well, I've always been really into top ramen. And I know it's so bad because it has so much sodium and has like no nutritional value, but on those days where I just felt really queasy and like, you know, like I just felt like nothing sounds good right now, the only thing that, you know, would sit well with me kind of was the top ramen. And I think it is because of the sodium. Honestly, like, it just sucks. Like, I'm a big sodium person. I love salt. I'm not a sweet tooth person, and in pregnancy that kind of sucks because that's what holds water, that's what retains water, that's what makes you get more swollen and inflated. So yeah, but that's my guilty pleasure always, is salt. That's just what comforts me. Foods that just definitely were like, no, stay away. Pizza, I noticed You know, I love pizza, but just the thought of all the grease that it had and all that, like, I would try and I would end up regretting it at night. All the grease, the pepperoni, it was just like, no. Like, just thinking about eating anything that was like fried and breaded, it was just like, no. Which is, I mean, I guess not a bad thing because fried food isn't the best thing to eat, so if anything, it kind of made me make better choices, I guess. I haven't really been into anything like meat. It sucks because, you know, I mean, I guess it doesn't suck. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who don't eat meat and stuff and they're totally fine, but I love meat. You know, I love chicken, I love steak, I love all that stuff, and especially chicken right now, it just does not sound good to me. Honestly, it does make my stomach kind of turn thinking about it. I don't know, it just, especially if it's like second day chicken and stuff, I'm like, nope, I am not going near that. The one that sucked the most, that hurt me the most not wanting it, was coffee. I never in my life would have thought that I would have not want to drink coffee. It literally just happened out of nowhere in the beginning of the year. It was just like, boom, January 1st hit me. Like, really, like the last week of December it hit me. Which it was barely like a month and a half pregnant or so. My camera just stopped and thank God I noticed. So yeah, you know, I've just been even extra tired on top of that. And I know you're not supposed to really drink coffee when you're pregnant, but you are allowed to drink 1 cup of coffee. And I learned that after my first pregnancy because I literally just stopped drinking coffee my first pregnancy completely. And I didn't find out until like the end of my pregnancy that I was allowed to have 1 cup of coffee. You're allowed to have up to like 150 milligrams, I believe, of caffeine. So yeah, but no, it did not sound good to me at all. Iced coffee, no kind of coffee. Better anyways, like I said, because I have a serious coffee addiction. And obviously when you're pregnant, if you're craving it a lot, it sucks because you're not allowed to drink a lot of it. So if anything, I was like, thank you, Lord. You did me the favor of, you know, taking away the desire for it, because that handled that situation in itself. So yeah, I've been more into drinking like tea, and I'll have like a matcha here and there. I really like that, and it kind of fills in that comfort drink because, you know, coffee, I don't really drink it all for the energy. I love the experience of it as well. I love drinking it, you know, I just love how it makes me feel, like the moment. It's like, ah. So yeah, I'm trying to find that in other things right now. First trimester, I did notice that I was super duper tired, like always, but not as tired as I was in my first pregnancy. Like, honestly, I would think to myself, I don't know how I'm going to do it when I get pregnant with my second kid, because now that I have a daughter, I have to, you know, attend to her and play with her and give her my energy. So I was thinking, you know, like, poor girl, she's not going to get any attention or anything, but I've been tired, but not as tired as I thought I would be. What I like to do is just that when she takes her nap, sometimes I'll take a nap with her. I'll like lay down for like 30 minutes and then I'll get up and finish doing whatever I have to do just to kind of re-energize myself. Thankfully this pregnancy I haven't thrown up. Like, I literally was only nauseous for about a week. When I was around like 9 weeks pregnant. I only got nauseous for like 3 or 4 days out of that week, and it was horrible, but I never threw up, luckily. And in my first pregnancy, when I was pregnant with Elliot, I was literally throwing up like every day for 4 or 5 weeks. I even lost maybe like 5 or 6 pounds, and this time I haven't, thank God. So that's definitely a pleasant twist on this pregnancy, because it was horrible. It was the worst feeling ever. Like, I hate throwing up. I will hold it in until the last second until I can't anymore. But when I was feeling nauseous, something that helped me to just kind of take off the edge and stuff was drinking Canada Dry, which is like ginger ale. I love how that, you know, kind of made my stomach sit better. The gas, I think, helped. I'm not really a soda person. I honestly never ever drink soda. But I got myself a little box of ginger ale, and whenever I felt, you know, I was starting to feel queasy or feel weird, I'll just kind of sip on that a little bit and it would eventually go away. Also, wheat thins. I started putting them right next to my bed so that right when I woke up in the morning, I'll eat a few crackers and then I'll go on with my day, just to kind of like settle my stomach before just getting up. And, you know, also I noticed that if I go too long without eating and, you know, my stomach gets empty, then I would obviously start feeling nauseous as well. And I think that's even outside of pregnancy. It's just like if you're not eating at your time and stuff like that, you know, you start feeling kind of like queasy. So definitely eat on time. Make sure you're eating every 2 to 3 hours at least, little snacks here and there. And, you know, just getting a nice balanced meal as best as you possibly can. And that will definitely help, I feel, take off the edge. You know, I feel like it could help you kind of diminish the nauseous feeling. So at least that's what's helped me, you know, but everybody's different. I did notice that in my first trimesters especially, I was a little bit more emotional, I feel. I found myself kind of just like, I guess a little more in my feelings. Little things that made me feel like more emotional thinking about or whatever. I would catch myself and just think like, okay, like I'm just being emotional. Even I feel maybe with Eli, maybe I was just like taking things a little more to heart or being a little more sensitive. And I think it was just my hormones. I was like, you know what, just remember I'm pregnant. Just remember I'm pregnant. Like, this isn't me. This will pass. And yeah, it didn't happen many times, but it did happen a few times. Oh, another thing that really hit me, and I feel like it still does a little bit, was motion sickness. I've never in my life suffered from motion sickness. And I noticed this on our trip. I went on a girls' trip to New York with my sister-in-laws for one of my niece's birthday. And we went on we had to take like this little ferry boat thing to go see the Statue of Liberty. And I remember within like 15 minutes of being on the boat, I was like, ooh, I am not feeling well. Like, I never in my life thought that I would be a victim to like seasickness or the motion sickness, because I have done things before on boats before and it never ever affected me. But yeah, this time it was like an hour and a half ride, and by like the hour mark, I remember sitting at the bottom of on the chair, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I am not feeling good. And you know, just hearing the voice of the guy in the background explaining all the history, I'm just like, wow, like this guy just needs to shut up already. Like, I'm feeling sick, all I'm hearing is his voice in the background. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I am gonna barf. It hit me, and I had to sprint to find a bathroom, and I threw up. It was like the worst feeling ever, you know. And like, oh, it sucks. So yeah, that symptom definitely has caught me off guard, because even just being in the car driving and stuff like that, whether I'm in the front or in the back, has made me feel queasy, just like weird things like that. So I did find that strange that I've been suffering from some motion sickness. Yeah, so one thing I noticed as well, and it sucks, you know, everybody talks about getting that pregnancy glow. I feel like I've never gotten to experience that, unfortunately, those positive effects of pregnancy. I remember like in the first few weeks of getting pregnant, I don't know why I just started breaking out so much in my forehead area, and I never break out in my forehead area. Like, not that I have clear skin or nothing like that, because I've always had little acne here and there, but when I would get it, I usually just get it like around this area a little bit. But I've noticed that instead lately I've been getting it a little bit more in my forehead area and like right here, even like a little bit on my upper lip, which is very odd because that's like where I never break out. But thankfully it's all kind of starting to clear out and go away. I can actually count how many zits I have at the moment, so I'm like, yes. So that's kind of starting to diminish. Hopefully it continues to go away. But yeah, it always happens to me with my hormones and stuff when I'm pregnant. Like, I break out, I don't get the pregnancy glow. So lucky you guys who do enjoy that. Also, another thing that I have noticed, and I noticed in my first trimester, and I have noticed just like even up until now, I realized I was lactose intolerant like around the age of 21. I'm 24 right now, so like 3 or 4 years ago I confirmed I am lactose intolerant. Like, milk does not sit well with me. Right now that I've been pregnant, I just feel like milk messes me up to another level. Literally, if it just contains any kind of lactose or milk in it, it's just like, literally cannot have milk in anything, and it sucks because I do miss that wholesome taste in, you know, in the lattes and all that. So I've just had to really make sure that I swap everything out for almond milk or coconut milk, because yeah, my stomach is like on another level, and I don't want to victimize anybody because of my own choices. Something lately that I have been noticing in like the last 3 or 4 weeks is that I've been getting a lot more headaches, unfortunately. It really sucks. Like, I never ever get headaches, and I noticed that I've been getting a lot more headaches, like every other day, every 3 days. But then again, I feel like honestly I wasn't taking my prenatals as good as I should be. With Ellie, with my first pregnancy, I did get low iron. I was iron deficient, and I did have to take iron supplements. So I'm trying to keep my eye on that. I'm getting on it about taking my prenatals every single day and trying to drink enough water, because I know that all those things could be side effects from not, being deficient in those areas. So I'm trying to take care of that. But I know that it's also kind of normal to get more headaches in pregnancy as well, because I guess like the blood flow and where it's all going. Pregnancy app that I really like using is the Ovia, the pregnant one. I also really like using Pregnancy Plus because it shows you like a more graphic picture of kind of like what your baby looks like and everything. But yeah, I believe the Ovia one, because it has like a good list of foods to avoid eating and everything, and things that are not that safe. And that's good. Like when I'm on the go sometimes and I want to eat something and I'm not exactly sure, I like to go on there and kind of check what it says. Of course, check in with your doctor at the end of the day if there's something like you really don't think is that you're really iffy about. Yeah, we're just very excited about baby number 2. I think Ellie's gonna be a great sister. I am a little nervous from going from 1 to 2, because it's definitely different. Ellie's still kind of needy. She still loves my attention. She loves to be with me. She still sleeps with us. We've been co-sleeping with her since she was born. So right now, I don't know how I'm gonna do it when baby number 2 comes, because like I don't know how I'm gonna get her out of my bed, and I don't want to wait until the baby's born either, because I don't want her to feel resentful towards the baby because she's gonna think we kicked her out because of the baby. But I've definitely learned a lot from my first pregnancy, things that I don't want to do in my second pregnancy. But we'll see. That's just what I say. But maybe I can make a video on that, what I would do differently with my second baby, or like what would I do differently that I did in my first pregnancy that I wouldn't bring into my second. Yeah, we still haven't found out the gender. I actually have my 20-week appointment coming up in 3 weeks, and I'll be finding out then. I didn't choose to do the early 3D test. It's just like I'm not really in a rush to know. I mean, pregnancy is long enough, and I feel like once you already know what it is, it's just like you're like already knowing, you're that much more anxious to see it and see what it looks like. So I was like, no, I'm good. I'll wait till 20 weeks. I do have a lot of videos coming up in mind. I recently started working out again at the beginning of my second trimester, because my first trimester I was just tired and I was queasy. But once my second trimester came around, I was definitely, like I need to start working out again. I want to be strong and I want to be ready for baby number 2. And, I just want this pregnancy to go as graceful as possible. So if you guys are interested in that as well, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if there's any recommendations that you guys have, or any videos that you guys would like to see in the future. It doesn't have to just be pregnancy wise. It could be family wise, beauty wise, fitness wise. We can just like random, if you guys want to have random talks, like if you guys had any more spiritual based video, if you guys wanted advice, or my husband to come on this channel and we could talk about our relationship, or whatever it is that you guys want to know. I have a lot of fun doing videos here, and I really want to start filming more. I just want to know, like, what should I do? What should I film? What do you guys want to see? And I almost forgot to give you guys a belly shot, so here it is. But yeah, it's not really that big yet, but that's me right now at 17 weeks. Last but not least, in my first pregnancy, I didn't start to see any stretch marks until like 7 months, just when I thought I was home safe. But yeah, so I was really shocked, and I never was really putting much on my belly throughout my pregnancy, and then I started to at the end, but it was kind of late by then. And honestly, I've seen so many things that it's just genetic. My mom actually didn't get any stretch marks really, and my grandma, her mom, had 10 kids and she never got stretch marks. I ended up getting stretch marks, unfortunately, But yeah, this time around, you know, I don't do it every day. Maybe like 4 times a week, 5 times a week. When I do use anything on my stomach, I like to use this. It's the cocoa butter formula with vitamin E tummy butter stretch marks. So yeah, I just use this. I like the way that it smells. There's like this nice warm smell, and I just like it. I mean, I already have some stretch marks anyway, so it's like whatever. I'm just doing it just to kind of like feel like I'm treating myself or taking care of myself. Also, bio oil. I remember that I also saw that this really helps to like get rid of stretch marks. So yeah, as you can see, I've used quite a bit of it, but not enough to really like see results. I haven't been as consistent with it as I should be. But yeah, I mean, I kind of just do these, not really, I kind of just do it just for fun, because I mean, it is what it is already, and I know that it's also, it plays a big role how much water you drink. You definitely have to stay hydrated, because, you know, the elasticity of your skin and the stretchiness is really from within, and if you don't drink enough water, then honestly it doesn't matter how much oil and stuff you put on top. Honest, I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me like that. Like, I know that it really bothers people and they want to go get it removed surgically and all this stuff, but I mean, I honestly don't really care. It does suck. It is unfortunate, but whatever. Like, my body created a baby at the end of the day, and you know, like, nobody's gonna be really like, oh my gosh, look, she has stretch marks. Like, nobody really cares that much as we do. And yeah, I mean, there's so many cute bathing suits now, like high-waisted and stuff. There's so many cute one-piece bathing suits, like if you wanted to cover them up anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of just like whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something, or at least got to see my experience in pregnancy as it's going in my second pregnancy, in my first trimester. Every pregnancy is different, you know, we all go through different symptoms and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just such a blessing when we get to hold our little baby, and everything is worth it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. It's at Jane Herrera 94. I'll link it down below. And yeah, if you guys want to go and follow me there as well, that would be awesome. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a blessed day.